Guys, just a quick reminder that you can check us out on Reddit r/SplitViewPodcast or on Discord. Link is on YouTube. And we're also on Apple Podcast and Spotify and also YouTube. Okay, thanks, bye.
What's poppin', everyone?
What's poppin'?
It's the new Split View. Everyone's crowding for it. Everyone's ready for it.
What's new about it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I said everyone's... I don't even know what I said. I'm just doing bullshit hype man stuff. Huh? No, it's a new Split View. You know, it's Sunday. It's the day that everyone looks forward to in their week, you know? Everyone goes, oh shit, I can't wait for Sunday, dude. It's the new fucking Split View, dude. Here it comes.
Jordy didn't watch Beastars, and that makes me sad.
I watched 3 episodes, actually.
Okay, what'd you think?
That's part of my, that was part of my little intro.
Okay.
Is that I was utterly terrified of it.
What do you mean? What do you mean terrified of it?
The art style was literally making me anxious. There was something about it that was, like, triggering in my brain that made me uncomfortable
like
about it.
Tryptophobia kind of shit?
Something like that. Because it's like, you were right, it's not 2D and it's not properly 3D at points, and then it goes from like...
It's hybrid animation.
8 FPS to 60 in some parts.
12, excuse me?
I don't even know if it's 12, dude.
It is
I've
12.
seen some walking animations where it's like 1 frame and then another one in like a whole second, but like... What made me stop... was I think it was 3 episodes in when the rabbit starts taking her clothes off and all that shit, trying to fuck the wolf, and I was like, you know what? I can probably go without this.
It's good. No, it's good. It is.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
See,
nothing happens.
After that, right?
Yeah.
I went and I was hanging out with some other friends.
Other friends?
Yeah, I know, it's shocking, isn't it? And they were like, yeah, man, I've heard that that's pretty weird, but I've also heard from all my weeb friends that it is super dope and you should keep watching it. So maybe I will. I don't know. Possibly.
I'll tell you, literally the next episode, like, he runs away. So no, it's like not like anything happens.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that was enough to sort of scare me. I was like, I don't really want to see rabbit tits.
Yeah, you're going to see rabbit tits in this Netflix fucking produced anime.
I don't know, dude. You said there was some shit in it. You said there was some slamming.
It's only heavily implied sexual gratuity.
Okay, well, I did not know that. Maybe I will continue it.
Did you really think they were going to show, like, actual furry porn on Netflix? I didn't want to stick around and
find out, all right?
Okay.
If you're in a shop and a guy pulls a gun out and he's like waving it around, you go, well, he might kill someone, I'll wait around for it. Or do you fucking leg it?
Aside from that, how fucking awesome is Legoshi's voice?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I like how he kind of slips into a Brooklyn kind of Noir accent every now and then. Like, it's a very nice... You know what I mean?
Did you listen to it in English?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Why not?
Because I'm not going to listen to it in English if there's Japanese to listen to.
Dude, the Japanese voices aren't even that great. They're not very good.
I wouldn't even really know.
So
I just heard that, like, when the preview played, the voices were super cringe. That I was like, they must have just played some characters that I wasn't vibing with or something. I was like, you know what? This is pretty cringe. I'm gonna put this on Japanese.
It's actually really good.
That, and I can't watch it without subtitles, you know, and the subtitles are from the Japanese, I think, so the dub isn't exact.
Yeah, because Netflix isn't going to retranscribe the subtitles for the English one as well. Because the English one is slightly different. It's not like... I watched the English one because it's not necessarily dub. It's like a redo, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they just sat down and were like, hey, do this exactly. Like, the voice actors were actually given like a proper script for them, and they could have, you know, they can improvise their own stylings and stuff. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, yeah, we're gonna watch it after this. I want to show you an episode in English.
We can keep watching, I suppose.
Haru as well. She is voiced by Lara J. Miller, who you will absolutely recognize her voice instantly. She's like every small like cutesy voice in every anime. She's been in anime and like cartoons for like 40 years at this point.
Jesus,
and
that's a solid career right there.
I don't know if Jack shows up, the little like the dog. You know?
I don't really.
he's voiced by Ben Diskin, who was also in Agaretsuko, and also
I've heard of that.
He was number 1 and number 2 in Kids Next Door as well. And the main voice, Legoshi, Jonas Scott, he is in JoJo. So, and this is like one of his first like voice acting kind of jobs. He's only been voice acting for a year. I'm going to show you his voice because his voice is fucking amazing.
Okay.
He also streams on Twitch all the time. Like literally before you showed up, I was just literally watching him. I got the notification, I opened it, and then I opened the stream. He's like, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, yeah, man. And then having like a Netflix watching party or something.
Well, speaking of, that was one of my topics for today. It actually is the main topic for today, is the state of the world at the moment. I wanted to, I don't know. I think, like, today's fucking, like... Alright, I'm just gonna start off. I mean, we need to mention, obviously, George Floyd, because I feel like it's a bit... You know, we need to talk about this shit.
I don't know if we're gonna have differing topics because this is a pretty clear-cut issue in my mind.
No, it's not. It's not necessarily that we'll have a split opinion about it. It's just that I also like to have, for posterity's sake, some of this stuff included.
What was that word, Johnny? What was
posterity?
That word? Oh, dude, is it posterity?
Yes,
how do you say that,
posterity.
Dude? I don't think that's the right word, man.
I think that's the right word, man.
Nah, I think it's prosperity.
That's a different meaning.
I think it's a different
prosperity
word.
means you're prosperous, you're living well.
That
is exactly not what we are right now.
I'm making fun of you calling out me saying the wrong word when we were doing
I see, but I said the right word, so that's not funny.
Yeah, I know.
You got me, dude.
I'm just being
Dude,
unfunny.
you got me. You got me real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I wanted to talk about it. I think it's important for us to talk about it. We're not going to have split opinion. I really hope we don't have split opinions about it. For those of you who don't know, which would be very surprising at this point,
a guy was murdered.
He was in cold blood murdered.
Yeah.
George Floyd was. Do you know about how it sort of came to be that he was even arrested? He was at the shops, and apparently he was accused. He didn't, but he was accused of writing a fake check to the cashier. Okay. So she rang the police, and the police came and they killed him. Yeah, he didn't even do anything.
He wasn't resisting literally either. Nothing. Like I think.
No, he wasn't resisting. He was just there, and an officer. You've probably definitely seen the pictures of the officer with his knee over his neck,
on his neck, literally crushing all of his
for 9 minutes, crushing him as he's trying to breathe for 9 minutes.
Death plus brain death,
literally, and. For that whole time, he was saying, "I can't breathe. Help me, help me." And there's like 4 cameras on them and all this type of shit, and like they're trying to just document it.
The first camera angle was of you just saw one guy, like an officer's kneeling on the neck, and then you see the other one. There's 3 officers on him,
and they're all just like, "This is what we do every day."
Like that is the definition of overkill in my mind.
Yeah, and it's just the aftermath that produced was just incredible because I mean I really think it was the nail in the coffin, because this shit has been happening for so goddamn long.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and I'm trying to think about it, and it's just, it very well may never ever go away, because you can't change these people's mind. These people who are so fucking bigoted and like dog shit in their fucking view set. Is that you can't... It's like when we've talked about flat earthers and all that type of shit. It's like talking to a brick wall.
It's kind of a systemic issue, isn't it? Like,
it is.
The police's job should be to kind of keep things civil, but in America, it seems like the police's job is just to abuse and control people.
Abuse and control. It's literally like an army.
Yeah.
That
it literally is just like a private demolisher, isn't it? Like, they just go around wreaking havoc, you know?
Like, I've never heard... Like, all I'm hearing now, right, is all these my Reddit is just destroyed with all this. Well, not destroyed. It's good that this is happening, but like it's just overloaded, I should say, with all these things. But I'm on all these like happy, wholesome sort of subreddits that I'm a part of. Is all like, oh, look at all these American cops having a nice conversation with a person.
Yeah,
that's not news. That's what should be happening.
Yeah, that's
what should be happening.
Yeah. I guess
Sorry, I peaked that shit real hard there, but this shit gets me
the
fucking
compressor will take it down.
Hella goddamn mad.
I've seen a lot of wildly differing kind of like reports and stuff, like, oh, here's looters protecting stores. Here's like it's people protecting a lone police officer so that he doesn't get like murdered. Like it's such like a varied kind of thing that's happening.
Every single person is taking it differently. I think, like in I mean, we are just hearing about it here in Australia, right? Like this is an American problem. Like there's a reason why if you're from Australia you might not have heard of it, but at the moment Minneapolis is literally a fucking war zone. Like, quite literally a war zone. And I've seen all these pictures of people with, you know, being shot by rubber bullets, and their faces are, like, completely disfigured.
Like, eyes explode.
And their eyes are literally, like, being exploded and all that shit. And it's just because people have had enough. And it's fair. I can't say don't do that, because no one's listening. You know what I mean? Like, call me a fucking asshole for promoting looting and violence and all that shit, but how else
I just think,
are you gonna...
I don't know about looting, but I think there does need to be some response, you know?
There does need to be... Okay, I mean, fair enough, like, all the looting and all that, the extra stuff, like, if you're gonna burn down police stations and all that type of shit, I'm not gonna stop you. I can't even say that's wrong. If you've been marginalized for that long, and you feel that the only way to get your voice heard is to do something like this, it's gonna change something. It will change something. It absolutely will. It can't not, right? But the problem is that what happens when all this is done? Yeah. That's what I keep thinking about, right?
It's just going to go back to normal again.
Exactly. We've heard about this shit before, and this is the part that pisses me off. Because it's also one of these things I've talked about, like, when I'm trying to think about in the mind of a flat earther or something, I physically can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I physically can't think in the brain of someone who is a racist.
Because you're not a racist asshole.
Like,
it is an irrational point of view to have, you know? Like,
but it's also so common, and I don't understand
I guess
how so many people can be wired that wrong. It hurts my brain.
It's you know, I think it just comes back to American history. Like, there was a large, you know, point of time where, like, that it was just common, like, oh, black people are slaves. That's just what it was, you know? So I think it's the holdovers. It's like fantasy for some people. Like, it's a strange thing that I
guess. I mean, there's definitely still some people all over the world who just want to live like it was in the fucking 1800s.
Yeah.
Like, they've just got their mindset in the 1800s. You know what I mean? And it's fucking... I don't know, man. I feel like I can talk about it all I want, but it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm screaming at a brick wall, and I've been seeing all of these posts by all these incredibly famous people saying, if you've got a platform, use it. And we have one, and we don't particularly have the most amount of people that listen to it. But, you know,
it's important to voice your opinion.
On the off chance that something comes from this, I mean, if I didn't take it, I'd be more mad than if I did, you know? I can't be mad if I did take it, you know what I mean?
Eminem lyric or something?
Probably. No, that's like never miss your chance to something. I don't know. I haven't listened to Eminem since I was like 12. But I don't know. That's just how I wanted to, like, talk about this. I really wanted to try and put some fucking nice little things in there. Maybe we'll talk about puppies every now and then, just to keep the mood a little bit... I've got some shit to talk about at the end, which will probably be a little bit nicer, but strap on your fucking your seatbelt, because this one is going to be a little bit of a downer.
I think it's odd that the police seem to want this to happen. They seem to they're instigating it.
They are. I've seen so many videos of people, like, being not just pushed, but, like, fucking gravity blasted by these guys who just want to fucking, like, pummel people with guns and shit.
Did you see that one video of people on their porch, like at the front of the house, and they just start getting shot at?
That was terrifying for me watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Who are they going to shoot? And they just aim at the fucking camera and just start popping.
They're like, get inside, get inside.
Yeah, like, what? They did nothing. They actually did nothing.
Gotta control those plebeians, you know?
Yeah. I feel like they're all living in a movie where they're like, I finally get my chance to do this cool shit and walk down,
what it is.
All these streets, like in Call of Duty. I get to walk down with my M4 and, like, aim it at people and all that type of shit. It's like a power trip.
I think I'm gonna offend so many people, but in America, like, there's, like, America's very much like a Hollywood kind of culture plate. Like, there are guns. Kids grow up with, like, gun toys and all that, and like, they watch movies about, you know, Americans being heroes and all that, and then I feel like for a lot of people, they join the police because they want to, you know, fucking,
they want,
like,
or the army or something. Like, they want to live out fucking Jarhead or something.
Yeah, they want to act out these, like, fantasies of, like, stopping bad guys and all that, and then they join the police force, and they can be just racist for, like, you know, no reason. They have a past to be racist, but now that it's like this kind of martial law kind of thing happening, they literally, like, they're probably being told, like, oh yeah, just control these people, you know, just...
Well, I mean, chances are they literally are being told that we need to stop this havoc, do what you have to do. So they're tear gassing kids and shooting kids with fucking rubber bullets.
The thing about
blinding them.
I say this, but like I think that's only a small minority of like the police. I think
it is, and also what you said about people living in, like it's an action movie that happens here. That'll happen everywhere.
Oh yeah,
like that is not completely. That there is always going to be people who want to do that.
Seems like it's amplified in America though. Like it does.
I mean that's purely because it certainly does seem that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's we can't we don't live there. It'd probably be different if we lived there and we knew a little bit more about it, I guess. But just this is the projection we get from people in outside countries.
Yeah,
is that we sort of get this effect, I suppose.
And I guess it makes sense because the news isn't going to report on like some mundane shit happening. No. They're always going to report on the most severe cases happening. So we only get the news of this. We only get the two polar opposites, like the two extremes, like really good acts by the police or really like heinous acts by the police. We don't really get the neutral stuff. So.
No, of course not, because it's not news. If a police officer does his job and is nice to people and is like, hey, excuse me, sir, can you like not do drugs out here or something, like we're not gonna, we get it, you have a problem with addiction and all that type of shit. Not like, I see drug, gun out, you're arrested immediately, no questions asked type shit. But what you said before is like we're only reporting on the heavy shit is one of my notes, is that right now SpaceX just launched some more people into space and it's not even news because no one cares.
I saw that as news. Like it was popping up in my feeds and all that. That one video of the guys going in and hugging everyone.
Yeah, it's there, but it is not anywhere in comparison to all the other stuff that's going on over there. It's like it just happened. It's the first time in what is it, like over a decade or something they've sent someone. And Americans have been sent to space, specifically Americans?
It's the first time a private space company has boarded the ISS. I think that's the monumental thing that happened.
And I mean, and that's fucking phenomenal. And that should be something that we're celebrating, Because if anyone's going to do it, it's crazy man Musk.
Yeah.
And,
Elon Musk himself, he designed everything, he built everything by himself, I
mean, that's a bit fucking nuts. That should be, even if he is gone a little bit crazy and off the edge as of late, the fact that he could do that is phenomenal, really. I mean, like...
he single-handedly, Geordie, Elon Musk did everything.
Okay, but I mean, like, he really just didn't exist one day, and then he just had all this shit, because he just had good ideas, When I say he didn't exist in the eyes of people for, like, one day, and then the next day he was just like a god,
I guess
type of thing. Like... Yeah. There was never a point where I was like, who's this Elon Musk guy? It was like, he was great, and then he wasn't known.
When he created PayPal, you didn't know his name? Or when he worked on PayPal?
Well, that's true, but he wasn't the owner of PayPal.
He was like the co-founder or whatever.
Was he?
Yeah. He's like one of the main guys who made PayPal.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, he's like one of the programmers, designers,
more
engineers or whatever.
Good shit that he's done then, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen something else that kind of like... I was talking about how most cops aren't like the evil bad guys, and you see these videos of cops instigating the action, like cops shooting first. Forgive my fucking Star Wars reference, but it's painful to see like these cops attack someone and then be restrained by their co-workers.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, fuckface, don't make this a bigger the deal than it is. Like that is the craziest thing to me, is seeing that these people who they don't like. The cops, they want to start shit. That's the craziest part. They want to start shit.
Not all of them. We need to preface, that's what but like there are definitely people out there who their goal is they want something to happen so they can pull that trigger and feel cool for a few seconds.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy to me that these people with mixed opinions in the police force, some people want to start shit, some people don't want to start shit. They're still there. They're still cooperating. Like, if I was a police officer in this time, I would just fucking quit. Like, I don't want to be associated with these, like, fuckers, like, bloodlust fuckers. Like, they're literally at the rallies and riots and all that, restraining their co-workers. Like, oh, this is fine,
Yeah.
Oh, Billy with his bloodlust. Oh, no, calm down, Billy. It's okay. Like,
it's probably
what
like,
the fuck, dude?
Literally every precinct has the Billy.
Yeah.
The Billy Bob.
Kevin or whatever.
Or Kev, yeah. Oh, we don't worry about Kev. He's got a little bit of a fucking power complex, But nothing will ever happen, so it's probably fine until this happens.
Yeah.
And then everyone's worried about Kev.
Literally like a pass to kill people.
In other words, we need to talk about Kevin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was going.
That's not very funny. See, this is a bad time to bring it up, but I want to be a cop. I want to be a cop.
Yeah.
I'm studying right now to be a cop, specifically to end up being a
police
detective.
officer.
Yeah, a police officer. Because in spite of this,
Yeah.
because I know that I'm going to do a better job than someone else.
Yeah.
I know that, and I haven't even got in yet.
Well, yeah, that's the best type of police officer.
That's because I'm going to be nice. That's who I am, right? Is that I'm going to see something in the light that everyone should see it, rather than law broken, must arrest, like fucking Judge Dredd on everything. You know what I mean?
RoboCop.
Oh, RoboCop. Sorry, yeah. But it's just a very shit time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't spend any more time on. It's
the way I see it. I want to close it out. It's always been like this. This isn't a new issue. It's just made light by this.
You're exactly right.
You know,
it's
this
just
thing
gotten
that
the spotlight for its,
exactly. Yeah.
It's enough time. You know.
Yeah.
I wanted to, the rest of this podcast, or this topic for me, was talking about the state of the world today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just sort of wanted to get, maybe we'll try without all this stuff going on right now. Like, what if the aliens landed, right?
Yeah.
And they said to you, they found you, and they were like, tell us, like, what is the world doing right now? What is happening? What is your view of the world right now? What would you say to them?
I mean, I'm thinking that they're wanting to know what how we're progressing technologically, socioeconomically, and all that. And I'd say we're on the cusp of machines being smarter than human beings, because that's the age we're in right now.
Yeah.
We are very much
the AI age.
Exactly. Like, we're focusing so hard on that right now. Like, I honestly, I see very soon we're going to have biological computers that can just do shit for us. Like,
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Like, there's, what was it called? There was this one sci-fi story where, something called, like, Cheese Brain or something. Like, there's one sci-fi story where planes are controlled by AI, like biological computers. Instead of electronic computers, they have biological cells that are grown, like little brains in boxes.
Okay.
And I think we're going towards that. Like, we've done this thing where we have little, like, mice brain cells on a little petri dish, and that can control an airplane. And I think we're very close to getting towards that.
I think you're right, because I think, am I right in saying, I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation, that planes pretty much fly themselves? You were telling me at some point that, like, I was saying, like, there's so many dials and shit in a plane, because this is when you were using Flight Simulator. This was a long time ago. You used to, like, try it just for fun, I think.
I got pretty good at it.
You did get pretty good at it, but I was like, look at all these switches and shit, I wouldn't know what to do. And you were like, well, planes pretty much fly themselves. You just have to make sure you don't crash.
Well, yeah, like, a lot of all the switches and dials in planes are just manual controls for stuff. Like, if you lose a wing or something, you need to have the control over every part of your plane to be able to compensate for that.
Yeah.
But mostly how commercial pilots fly is that they just take in vectors and altitudes. Like, they'll come off the runway. Landing and taking off are, like, the most complicated parts of flying, because that involves a lot of wind conditions and shit. But you take off, and then you get vectored by tower control. They allocate you an air lane, and then you just basically have to turn and then maintain an altitude. Like, they have autopilot. Autopilot doesn't fly the plane for you. It keeps you steady. That's what its job is.
Right.
Autopilot's job is to keep you in one direction and one heading. So the next step of that is automating the higher level of it, of, like, taking off, landing, vectoring, taking commands.
All the complex shit.
We can do that. That's a thing that can just happen.
Yeah.
That's not a particularly complicated task. It can be subdivided into individual components and then solved. Whereas the hard part is reacting to, like, a human, you know?
Something,
like,
a human error, yeah.
That and, like, Tower, you know? They tell you, oh, we need to do this, having, like, natural conversation. That's the hard part. And there's been advances in, like, robotic Tower, like, instead of... 'cause it's a simple problem, like, directing airplanes. Have you ever played that one game where you, like, have to trace out an airplane path? That's kind of what it is. You have, like, bands and, like channels and all that, and you just need to have the airplanes go into separate channels and all that. And computer can do that really fucking easily. Like,
probably more accurately too.
Yeah, we can have a fully robotic system like that. It's just, obviously, people lose their jobs, and if something goes
that was
wrong...
what I was going to say, is, the monetary part of it would be the problem, I would say. Just incorporating that into every single airport and airplane ever would be a goddamn nightmare, I feel like, but...
Oh, yeah, the implementation of it's gonna fucking suck. Like,
Yeah.
we can't do that for shit. Do you remember when, the Australian healthcare system tried to implement a fucking software solution and they're still hemorrhaging money to this day?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think pilots would be out of the job. I don't think they would go fully pilotless.
You still need a pilot, because what I was saying, like...
Yeah, in case things go tits up, you still need someone to...
If your fucking wing explodes, what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly,
You need that human experience of, I'll just dial these things in. I can feel the plane, so,
I suppose that, I guess their thinking would be, if you still need to have one in there, you might as well just make the human do the hard parts.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like... If you still need to have a human, why pay for this expensive thing that needs to be calibrated and maintained and all that when you can just have the human fly it?
Exactly, yeah. Hang on, I'm just bringing up my notes again here.
That's all good.
One of my questions, and it is rhetorical, is do you think that we will ever escape this level of hysteria that we have right now and have always seemed to have had for such a long time?
I think it involves cooperation, and I don't think everyone wants to cooperate. Like, if there's one thing we know about humanity is that cooperation is never a thing we can do, I guess.
Self-preservation, not necessarily, just selfishness.
Yeah.
Tends to look at the prime example is, if not this, the coronavirus that's happening right now as well. There's all these people who don't want to wear masks.
People blaming it on fucking 5G towers.
Yeah, it's people just want to worry about themselves and no one else, and refuse to listen to what might happen to other people. People
are getting upset, like, I can't breathe in these masks that protect mine and everyone else's life.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure. Are you gonna, honestly, it seems like a good trade-off, just being slightly muffled over infecting people or
with
yourself
a potentially lethal virus.
Yeah, yeah.
And highly infectious virus.
Mm.
And the classic is that video of that, you've seen the mum in the car, and she breaks down crying because she was she's had her rights infringed so much for wearing a mask. That was it. She went to a Walmart or something.
Oh, is that the old lady in the car?
Yeah.
I think
yeah, and she just...
There's a bunch of those videos.
Yeah, there's shitloads of them. But she went in and she wore the mask. She soldiered on, Tom. Yeah. She put it on the whole time she was in there, about 5 minutes probably, while she got her eggs and wholemeal flour and all that shit,
Yeah.
Organic wholemeal flour. And she left. And she just broke down in the car because she had never had her rights that infringed before.
Yeah.
Because she had to wear a mask. It's like...
Why do I have to change my lifestyle to protect people?
Yeah. I like to just live unaware of other human existence than my own, That's what I'm used to. So why should I change that for anyone else?
Yeah.
But, look, it was a rhetorical question. I don't think we're ever going to get out of it. I don't think there's always going to be something that someone is going to cause shit for. Right now, that we have an actually reasonable one, if we're talking about George Floyd, but the coronavirus freak out is not fucking validated in any way. If you put a fucking mask on.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's not hard.
I think change can only happen when the humans in the environment can go to the path of the least resistance. If you change something so that it's harder for individual people to do, then they're not going to like that, because it's harder. We've fallen into this kind of society because it's the easiest thing for individuals to do.
It is.
We think of change as in one big thing that affects everyone, but everyone has their own way of doing things, and realistically you can't, modify your plans to fit every individual person.
No.
It's a complicated thing.
But you also don't need to actively go out of your way to not wear a mask and shit like that. When it comes to, if you're trying to live in the best possible place, for me, I've always had this, it's an unrealistic dream, but this dream of just living in a forest away from everyone.
Yeah.
That just seems so nice, doesn't it?
You can do that.
I can do that. And people say, why wouldn't you get lonely? It's no, I probably wouldn't. I would for probably about the first...
You're not going to take Allie? Fuck you, Allie.
Well, okay. This is just... Okay. This is a dystopian, let's just say, right?
Dystopian future when you're not with Allie.
Well, okay.
That's your future.
I'm just saying, in this case, let's just say, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I decided.
Hold on,
let's
talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that. In your mind, your perfect future is you living in a cabin by yourself, and then Allie isn't there.
It's not the perfect future. It's just one where I think that it would be good, and chances are, if I lived in it, it wouldn't be good.
Keep on digging, my dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie about it.
Okay.
But it's yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Like, that's just something that I've thought about.
Yeah.
And I think would be good. Like, I've always liked the idea of living completely alone from everyone. This is not something that's new. This is something that's I've always had, and I guess that's because it was always really hard for me to like make friends. So I think I just kind of got used to being by myself, and now I like it. So now it's just
smiling at me really creepily.
I don't know. It's just
yeah.
Thank you for making me dig that hole for myself. By the way, you completely manufactured that for me.
I didn't give you the shovel. I just started gnawing at the hole.
You gave me the shovel and pointed the X on the ground, and also put a gun to my head.
I may have pointed at the X on the ground, but you started fucking wholesaling shoveling that shit.
Whatever. All right. I think maybe we do I have anything else about? All right, maybe we talk about a little bit now some coping mechanisms if you're feeling a bit on edge like I am from all this. And I don't even live in America, so I can't even begin to know what all these people who are in the thick of it are feeling, you know?
Yeah.
But it's you know, we need to try and calm ourselves from all this shit. So Tom, what if you get stressed, what do you do? What's your go-to you jerk off?
Answer that.
Do you sound yourself? Do you
what are you gonna bring this shit up? What are you gonna bring this up? People don't even know what you're talking about.
They know what I'm talking about.
No, they don't.
Do you spread your ass cheeks and then like
where's this coming from?
I don't have anything else for that joke.
I don't know.
Seriously, like what...
music is cool. I honestly, I don't know how to cope with stress. I really don't. I just kind of get through it at the end of the day, and I'm fine. So
yeah, I mean, coming from someone who lives in a constant state of stress, like the type of shit that I do, it's music, or I'll play some games or something. But like that only just distracts me. I think music is what takes my mind off it the most.
Music makes you lose control.
It does, man.
Music makes you lose control. Lose control. Have you seen that meme?
No, I have not.
Of like the triangle, like.
Nope. But I believe you. I believe it's out there.
Probably shouldn't believe me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you showed me weirder things before on the internet than that.
Yeah, okay.
So it would be strange for you to make that up.
Yeah, I've showed you weirder things. Yeah,
you have.
Yeah.
You have. You definitely have. He showed me his penis.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Totally.
All right. I mean, what's some genuine things people could do? I wanted to sort of spitball a bit here. Take a bath. Maybe you brew up a hot batch of testicle tea. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I honestly just do what's comfortable. Do things at your own pace. You know, just find something, or just start thinking. Even like. Maybe you haven't even considered what makes you happy. Maybe you haven't even considered what de-stresses you, you know? Like, you could start focusing on that. You could start looking into things that do help you, you know? Like, instead of neglecting this, you can do something about it, you know?
Shit, that's a good fucking answer right there, dude. Like, it's now, especially considering most people are still... Well, not most people, but quite a few people are quarantining still. You've got plenty of time to self-reflect and all that type of thing, and really look at what makes you happy. Maybe you're stuck in, you know, a place in your life where you're afraid to change it and all that type of thing. But now you could really look at that, you know, and you can say, well, maybe if I change this, that, or something that's not quite right in my life, you can go ahead and change that about yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. You've got all the time in the world now.
Exactly. Now is a time to like do something. You know, you have time, and you shouldn't feel pressured. Like the thing is, you should never feel pressured to improve yourself.
No, that's true. Because you'll hear a lot of us podcasters or YouTubers or all that type of shit saying, you know, you got to work on yourself, bro. You got to be the best version of yourself you can ever be. Like all that fucking Logan Paul type yelling at the screen type shit. But it's you know. All I'm saying is that the main excuse for people not improving themselves is I'm too busy right now. Like, I've said it. I'm not going to lie. I've said it many times. And right now, I have spare time. I have a decent amount of spare time, but I tell people I'm too busy to, like, eat well and gym and all that type of shit. But I'm not. It's just me. It's my excuse, you know? Yeah. So I need to work on these things as well, and I am working on it. I am trying to eat better and all that type of shit. So, you know, if anyone is thinking about doing it, just know that, you know, we're doing it as well, if that makes you feel better. I was just Googling how many cases we've had in Australia, and I'm kind of shocked how little we have. Because I was thinking, like, you know, we're basically almost back to normal in Australia. Yeah, we are. Like, I maybe like a week or 2 weeks or so, like, we were pretty serious, and I guess that's all it took, because on here, like, 25th of March, like, we have a big spike. We've only had 7,200 cases in Australia. Total. That's not right now. Yeah, right now, total. How much do we have right now? Just go to the very end there. Well, it's not definitive. It says 10. Apparently, as of the 31st of May, which is yesterday, we had 10 cases. That's changed, though. That's changed. Yeah. In the entirety of Australia, that is, not just Queensland. Only 100 deaths, and I guess I'm kind of like I'm pretty shocked how well Australia have taken it. We really did do well with this. Yeah. And I think I've said this in a previous episode, is that we the Australian government is a bit of a joke at times, and there's a reason why I've never gotten into politics or anything. And my brother's always like, dude, you should do an episode on this, that, the other, something to do with politics. And I'm like, I don't even know who our Prime Minister is. How can I talk about... I generally don't even know. Like, and how can I talk about this shit? Like, I already sound incredibly dumb when I talk about anything on this show. If I start talking about politics... it's just blasphemous at that point. It's a matter of perspective. It's literally like I am just blatantly offending people for no other reason, because I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. At least if I'm talking about shit like this, which requires some thinking, I can give my opinion on it, and that might be seemed wrong to some people, but there's no facts that I'm saying that are wrong. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's we did handle it. We went nuts to butts on this shit, dude. We really did fucking handle it well, and that's something that has given me a little bit more respect for the government that we have here. You know, is it really the government, or is it just people taking shit into their own hands and actually realizing that this is a serious it's a bit matter? Of both. It's a lot of the people, but the government did have to, like, close airports and do all that type of shit to, I guess, prevent further things, and, you know, enforce the 1.5 thing. Because we did have I don't think there's a fine for it anymore, but it was like 1.6k, 1.6 thousand Australian dollars if you were found doing something that breached the quarantine sort of rules, if that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's a thing anymore, because we really have, like, I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong in saying there is no cases in Queensland right now at all. Don't really know. I think there were, like, it's hard to tell, because these are the only numbers that are observed. Like, exactly, the numbers could be higher, you know. But we're just looking at the Google default, like, we have a fancy monitor in our recording room now, so Jordy can see what's on my laptop. It's not really showing us specific states, but there was a thing, but it's one of these trying times. Is the point of this episode as a whole, really, is that it's pretty fucking stinky, the world right now. Just do what you can to make it a little... 1.8 million confirmed in America. Wow. Yeah. That's a lot. There's, like, they literally have, like, 20% of the cases. Have a look at this. Yeah. The United States is 1.824634. They don't have that many deaths, though. Like, that's not as much as I thought it must be younger people and all that getting infected or something, or people with better immune systems or something, but... The next one down is Brazil with 500,000. Also, like I was saying before, it depends on whether these being actually recorded and measured. Like, just because it says something doesn't mean it's true necessarily. Exactly. And the problem is, like, Brazil has 500. I mean, that's 3 times less than America. And Brazil does not have the same standards that the United States has. You know what I mean? Like, that's completely different. They're not, like, at the forefront of everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? They shouldn't... United States shouldn't be at the top of that list. But they just... I mean, Trump is, like, saying something like... Did you see what he tweeted this morning, I think it was? He was like, if you want better information, more better informations or something on a topic. I think, no, he was talking about opening the schools back up.
Yeah.
He was like, if you want more information about opening schools back up, we've got more better information here. And I think it was Bill Murray or something. What? The guy from Ghostbusters.
I know who Bill Murray is.
Yeah. And he tweeted saying, like, never has there been a better argument for opening the schools up than Trump saying more better. As it was some like, it was a clever comeback.
Didn't he like denounce Twitter a while ago?
Probably. He's fucking strange.
He's talking about like
he's really weird,
outlawing Twitter or something.
He's a very strange man.
Oh
Bill
yeah,
Murray.
fucking of course.
Like he's a fucking character.
Oh no, I'm talking about Trump. Trump denouncing Twitter.
I mean, I don't think you'll ever get him away from that. I feel like he is glued to his phone, just trying to like type stupid fucking shit. Like I don't even know how many times I've said how strange it is that a president uses Twitter.
I don't think it's necessarily strange. I think it's strange how that seems to be his primary form of communication with his people.
Imagine being a president and being limited to, like, 250 characters to tell your entire country what is going on.
Yeah.
That seems
doesn't even use Twit longer.
Yeah, like that seems right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Limiting yourself to 250 characters, which is like 3 sentences to give people constant information.
Didn't he tweet like a while ago just literally China exclamation mark?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about?
I don't know. Maybe he was like
that's
fucking
not...
balls deep in some like hooker or something, and he was like, China's so great. And China.
That's not something a president should tweet.
No, it isn't. No, it fucking isn't.
Yeah.
But like
coffee.
Coffee. What was the deal with that? Was that like his board of people or something that he was, or is it he just fucking
literally
high?
He just literally misspelled coffee.
That's
it. That's it. Nothing more insightful. He just literally misspelled coffee and still tweeted.
That's a big typo.
And didn't delete it.
That's a big typo.
Yeah, those letters aren't even close to each other.
No. Anyway, I'm going to end this podcast off with a bit of fun sort of gaming chat, you know, because I'm going to talk about something I'm excited about, and that's Valorant, which is coming out.
How do you pronounce that? Valorant?
Valorant.
Okay.
And that is coming out tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
And I'm very excited about it. And yeah, it's tomorrow. It'll probably be Wednesday for us because it's the 2nd, and I don't know if that's like American the 2nd or we'll have it for a day early or something. But they didn't even give us the beta here in Australia, so I doubt that we will get it earlier than everyone else. So it'll probably be all like some weird time in the middle of the night on...
Hopefully they even have like oceanic servers.
They will.
Okay.
The only 2 countries that aren't, I believe, is Russia and Spain. I could be making that up.
Why Russia? Russia is a pretty decent
I know.
community.
I feel like they would have been a target audience, but I think it's because of COVID. They said it was some problem which meant that they couldn't get particular server materials.
You can't remote into a server in
I
a
don't think they have
infected environment.
They have dedicated servers here now, but I don't think they have them in Russia or something.
I could get a dedicated server right now in Russia. With a few clicks on my phone, I could get a dedicated server in
enough
Russia.
to hold a new influx of a game that will be
what I'm saying is that,
popular.
No, like the way you scout servers, you literally just go to the hosting company and be like, "Hey, I want to buy servers.
Hey, I need a fucking billion of these because I'm hosting a game."
You don't go there like it's a fucking new
business
like Coke mill or something. You don't fucking tour it with your your henchmen and shit.
Your henchmen, yeah. Got 2 guys in suits and sunnies behind you
literally
while you walk up.
Like they're acting like it's a fucking new manufacturing plant. They get a tour and like inspect by themselves. And you're like, "Oh, these machines are top quality." No, it's like
it was probably something to do with like they couldn't get the game licensed over there or something. If that makes sense.
I don't think you need licenses.
It was something to do with like they couldn't because of COVID. That's all I saw in an article or something.
You need licenses to sell a game in a country, but you don't need a license to host a server in a country.
It's probably that then. But I think it's free.
Yeah, but you still need to license it with like
to like distribute it.
Yeah, if it's but. Just to run software on a server in a country, you don't need a license for that.
Yeah, I probably made that part up then. But it was... I did make that part up. I just assumed that's what it was. But
even then, like, that's fucking weird.
It is weird. And I don't know if it'll take them that much longer to do it. Because I wasn't looking, but I didn't see Russia on that list. I don't know how many cases they even have there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I shit on Valorant when it came out. I gave Tom shit for it.
I said I was kind of excited to play it, and then
I was
like,
"What? What's CS:GO Overwatch, dude? You really want to play that shit?" And here's the thing, I had played about 20 hours of Overwatch. I actually played a shitload of Overwatch. But I played...
I can't play Overwatch because the silhouettes don't stand out at all. I have no idea what the fuck anything is.
I was actually good at Overwatch. I was played ranked in Overwatch. I think I got into like whatever it was, Diamond or something.
I know these things.
It goes like Iron, Silver, Gold, Platinum, or whatever it was, Diamond. And I got into that, I think. I was pretty good at it when it came out. When they started doing seasons and shit. But then it's too boring now. Like, it's just the same. They've added like 2 characters in like 5 years or something. It's like, you got to keep people interested in your game if you're going to do that, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And then I played CSGO. You and I did, pretty recently. And I never saw any appeal until I played it, and I'm like, bro, this shit gets my fucking heart going. Like, this is fun as fuck.
I just want a game like TF2 where I can just, mindlessly shoot people in the head and just get kills, and just rinse and repeat.
Exactly.
That's the game I want.
I don't know if they're gonna... I mean, they will have a mode like that, but all I've seen is the 13-round mode.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even CSGO has, like, the deathmatch thing, so there will be one where you can respawn, because that's what you mean, isn't it?
We might need to wrap up and getting a call.
Yeah, all right, no worries. Well, we'll see everyone next week. Hope you enjoyed. Take it easy and be respectful to one another.
Ciao.